Good morning, Charles. Congratulations. I am the pledge in the movie Animal House. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I got my ass beat by Charles yesterday at Mahoning Valley. Guess what track we're never doing again?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, Charles hit that pick five. I knew when that single came through that for you that you were pretty much good to go. And then, of course, the longest of the shots that you had to close it out came in to win. So nice pay, $600 for that $90 or $95 pick five. You got to love when you convert like that. So congrats.
Yeah.
You and Terry in our contest. They're probably like a $700 lead on me now, maybe $800. I haven't had a chance to calculate it out yet, but I will. It's not too late. You can pick Team Charles and Team Terry now if you're foolish.
Well, it is. It's still a long month, so there you go.
There's a long way to go, but considering we only do 4 tracks a week and a quarter of them are done, I still got a lot of work to do to catch up. So hopefully we can get that done today. But it's been, man, I got to tell you, Charles, I think I've been at my desk for 30 hours in the last 2 days putting together the wagering guide for Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a free preview in the description down below. So here you can see this is the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. That's our preview for that race. Again, there's a link down in the bottom there. You know, the funny thing, Charles, is all us immature guys, the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile is our favorite race.
It's our favorite race. I mean, what a great name.
Yeah, I mean, do we not show our immaturity living up to the arrested development male stereotype without question?
Yeah, you're not a human being if you don't have a sense of humor like that. Come on.
Yes, indeed. All right, so today we're going to do Churchill Downs. They are open today. You know, something interesting might happen today, Charles, and I don't know if it is going to happen or not, based upon what I saw in the scratches. But the turf course, I think they were supposed to run one yesterday. It got moved off the turf. I'm not quite sure from reading it today if they got moved off the turf or not, because there were some scratches and the MTO got scratched out. So I don't know. Is it off the turf?
I did not see that they took it off the turf. So as far as I know, it's on the turf.
So this could be the first race on the new Gulfstream Churchill Downs turf course. Be interesting to see how that plays out. But before we get to that race, we have to get to race number 1, right, Charles?
That's right.
And race 1 at Churchill Downs is a 6 furlong race on the main track. It is a claiming for $30,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. Of course, the track just opened up, so we're looking at last meets numbers. 6 furlong, surprisingly, for me at least at Churchill. I always kind of thought it was a speed track, but outside bias with the horses coming from off the pace was the way to win at the most recent Churchill meet. Today, our work way to the winners worksheet brought to you by us, because we don't have any sponsors yet. Hopefully, if you're watching and you want to be a sponsor, please do so. Quickly, the E stands for horses that need to lead the lead to win. EP are horses that can, as we say, drive or ride shotgun. Pressure horses are usually horses that do ride shotgun, but no more than 2 lengths off the lead. Of course, the pressure horses with the PC pressures and closers, they can be within 2 lengths, or they can be an old-fashioned closer, way in the back from worst to first type move. The horses up front, again, speed really hasn't been the way there, but the 1 and the 4 look like they have the most early speed on the way home. The 2 horse has the most late pace. The 3 horse is a little tiny left arrow horse, but he does have the best combination of early speed and late speed. That's why he gets this 01 designation. So that's your chance to kick my rear end for day number 2. How are you going to try to keep that momentum up in the first leg?
Well, I'm not going to try. I will keep this up today.
Confidence.
There we go. Yeah, I really like the first 5 races of this whole card. So it's the back half. Man, it's pretty wide open to me. But
a lot of horses, yeah, for sure.
Race number 1, I really like the speed horse, the 1 horse here. This horse has plenty of speed, as your chart well shown. The trainer gets 17% after a claim, and this horse won last time out, so he's all tuned up and ready to rock and roll. A horse that I believe is going to be sitting in the catbird seat is the 5. Is dropping today, back on dirt today. And this horse, like I said, has a little tactical speed. So I think he'll let the 1 and the 4 go out there, and he can sit right behind them. My third choice is the 4, which is the other speed horse. I think he can hang on for some of the exotics. Has speed, hot jockey in the last 7 days, drops in class today, and has some solid workouts to go with all that. And my final choice in this race is the 6 horse. This horse has got more of the closing tactical speed, adds the blinkers today, and this horse has been pretty hot at the claim box too all year. So at least that tells you that a lot of people are interested in this horse.
They see something. If you see something, say something. Or
Yeah.
they should make a new one in in horse racing. If you see something, claim something.
Claim something.
There we go. We just TM'd something.
That's it.
Number 4 for me is the racehorse I like to start off the first race at Churchill Downs, Saint Eros Girl. This one should be part of the early pace, but also I can provide some late kick. The number 1 horse, it's coming off that maiden win. In doing so, it had the top last race speed figure by a good margin. That was a pretty big bump up, though, in that maiden claiming speed number. So I expect a little bit of regression here today. It might not be enough regression to stop it from winning, but I think that the 1 and 4 should be the top 2. But you don't like the 1 in there. The 2 horse, Manokasi, I don't know, has the most late pace in the field. I don't think it's going to win necessarily, but I do think it has a pretty good shot to clean up the gimmicks. That's the proverbial Tom horse. Is it going to win? Nah, in the money for sure. That's why I have it in there, and almost always that horse then comes back to win. Number 3, Sweet Beauty. This one I think should close, but as you can see on the Way to the Winner Circle worksheet, is a left arrow horse, so probably moves a little bit closer to the front than it's used to, and then can use those late legs to come on home. Race number 2, just like race number 1, is a 6-furlong race, Charles. Allowance $20,000, as we mentioned in that first race, the profile of a winner, 6 furlongs on the main track at Churchill Downs. It's outside bias for horses that like to come off the pace for the most part. I mean, that's the prevailing bias. It doesn't mean speed horses don't win. It's just that it's the more common way is to come from off the pace. Our way to the winner's worksheet for race number 2. Again, it looks a lot like race number 1. Got a couple horses that want to be on the front. Those are the 1 and the 4 horses. So they should be the ones that try to set the tempo. On the way home, you have the 3 horse, the 6 horse, getting an L+, meaning for all the horses with late pace, it has a score, at least the way I calculated it, 5 points greater than the next closest horse. But the 3 horse and the 2 horse have the best combination of early speed and late speed. I know you said that the first few races provide a lot of clarity for you, but just looking at this race, any horse can win to me. You even have the 5 horse sitting here as a lone P horse, right in between the speed and the closers, so should be able to run a very comfortable pace for it. So just to put it in English and succinct, looks to me like any horse can win this race.
Well, I just see it. The way this race is going to set up, I believe, is going to set it up for the 6 horse. The way the speed, they kind of tire a little bit, but the 6 horse has the best closing, as your chart showed. Back on dirt today, a hot trainer in the last 14 days. So this horse has got everything going for it, especially in this race. I believe the speed horse will hang on for second in this race. I believe this is the one that will be out in front. The 1 horse. Back on dirt, the trainer gets 27% when you go from turf to dirt. So that's a good little angle. Then I believe the 2 horse is the one that's going to finish third and start cleaning up on the gimmicks. This horse has got the tactical speed of closing. Hot at the claim box again, another horse like that. Cuts back in distance today, so I think that horse is something to worry about a little bit. And then my final choice to pick up the rest of the pieces is the 5. One last time out, claim last time out, has some tactical speed. It should be sitting in the catbird seat, but I just don't see him making much more ground other than that. The jockey gets 19% also.
So I like you. I'm going to start with that 6 horse, Hometown Hero. This thoroughbred has a plus late pace advantage, as we showed in our Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet, over the rest of these, and is taking a sizable class drop from running on California turf the last, I think, 3 races, if memory serves. But I wasn't too freaked out about that because the horse returns home to Churchill Downs, where it's run 4 times, 2 wins, and a second in 4 tries. Number 2, American Pure, is the second choice here. Just missed last time out, running a little bit better in the first half of the race. So if it can connect the first half to the second half, maybe gets the job done today. Number 3, my third choice, Thurian. If you rewind in the past performances, if this horse can just go back 3 races, it could make very easy work of this field, because to me, this one has the most back class with that race 3 back. And then finally, number 4, Speedboat, is my final choice for race number 2 at Churchill Downs. Was a tough call for me over that lone P horse, the lone pressure horse, the 5. But I need to have one of the likey front runners in here, and I think that's going to be the 4 horse. I have it a little bit faster than the 1 horse that you took there, Charles. Sound like you were going to object?
I was going to object, but the 4 does have speed, so it's not like, to me, it's super obvious that the 1 is going to take over. I just believe by the last couple of races, I think it will.
So race number 3 is a maiden special weight for $92,000, 1 mile on the Churchill course, which they start all the way in the back. It is a 1-turn 1 mile, and most of the trainers that we've talked to say they 1-turn miles. You have to treat them more like sprints than routes. Charles, in your experience as a trainer, would you concur?
Well, 100%. And even to give another note here, we got the Breeders' Cup coming up over at Keeneland. And the mile there, is 2 turns, but it's a very short distance to that first turn. So you better have some speed. So basically, you should treat it like a sprint, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're a closer, then you don't mind getting kind of trapped on the rail. But I hate when jockeys that have closers and they know they have closers and they get trapped inside, because you just know they're going to get boxed in, because all the other jockeys know you have a closer too, and they're not going to let you out and have space. All right, so far, race 3, well, at least in the last Churchill Downs meet, much like 6 furlongs, we see a very similar pattern. Outside and off the pace was the best way to get to the winner's circle. There really isn't a traditional speed horse in this maiden special weight affair. You see none check off into the early co-pilot or pilot column. The closest are the 4 and the 7 horse, both of whom are pressure horses. The 7 horses get the square box, meaning it is the fastest in terms of the early pace, the way I calculate the numbers. In fact, it has a plus advantage, so it could be as much as a length ahead of everybody else after the first half mile. We have a first-time starter in here with the 5 horse. Otherwise, everybody else has these little dashes next to them. They're all pretty much running at the same level. If you're looking for closers, the 1 horse does have the most late legs in the group. And if you're looking for the horse that has the best combination of early speed and late speed, that would be your 4 horse, the other pressure horse in here. Again, Charles, you saw a lot of clarity in the first 4 races, first 5 races, I guess. So much clarity that you made this maiden special weight your best bet. Why?
Yeah, a maiden is the best bet. Like I said, it happens, but not my favorite thing to do. But I really like the 1 here. He has the great closing. Like you said, ran second last time out. Has put 3 solid races together. The jockey trainer combo, which is Hernandez and McPeak, they definitely know how to get a horse ready. I think there is enough speed in this race to set it up for him. And I believe the 6 is my second choice. This horse has got some tactical, but more on the late side tactical speed. Well bet last time, and should like this distance. And then I'm going with my third choice, the speed hanging on for a piece of the pie. I believe the 4 is going to be the front runner. He's bred for this distance, and Morales stays on this horse. And Morales is a pretty hot jock of late.
Mm-hmm.
And then my final choice is the 8. Another one that's got that tactical but late speed, bred for this also, and have some solid works to get him ready for this race.
I like the 4-horse as my first selection in here. Garoovin on a Thursday afternoon. Anyway, this guy did top for the top last race speed figure. And as I mentioned, does have the best combination of early pace and late pace for all of these light resume horses. So, I mean, you're going to see, I think, a lot of movement when you have horses that don't have a lot of races under their belt. Somebody's going to pop up, somebody's going to drop. It's, those are anything can happen type races. Sad that we agree on a lot of the horses. Number 1, Let Me Love You as your top pick, your best bet. It's the other to tie for the top last race speed figure. It does have the most late pop based upon like I said, the small resumes for these horses. Number 6, Atkins, the third choice in race number 3 at Churchill Downs. This guy was bet down to 2-1 in his last race. Didn't obviously live up to that hype, but has 3 really good workouts. And I mean, really good workouts between races. I was thinking about actually moving this one to the top. And then finally, number 5 horse, I'm probably going to regret not taking your 8 in this spot. But when you just look at the pedigree, it looks like the 5 horse has the best pedigree, best fit for the distance and surface. So if pedigree plays, I'll take the 5 at a bigger price than the 8 and hope that it just clips your 8 at the wire so I get a fat trifecta and I can start to close that gap between Team Rich and Team Terry and Charles.
Well, remember, me and Terry are just going to start pulling away now. Terry just handed off the baton to me, and I just took it a little further. So now it's his turn at the beginning of the week after I do some more damage today.
Mm-hmm. Well, your back must hurt from carrying them.
No. Terry does just fine on his own.
Right now, he's shaking his fist at the camera. All right, race 4, we go to 6 furlongs, back to 6 furlongs for the 4th race. It is a claiming $50,000 for a purse of $75,000. Again, so far early on, or at least in the last meet at 6 furlongs, you want horse the ability to probably tactical speed and can close. Our way to the winner's circle for race number 4. This one, we finally see a little bit of a different race shape. Again, we get only a couple of horses that want to be up on the front, your early pace types that like to put the 1s across the PPs. That's the 5 and the 7. Everybody else kind of stacks up in the middle, probably within a length or 2 of the lead. You have the 1 horse that does have the most late pace, best ability to combine the front part of the race with the back part of the race, but the 3's not too far behind. Then you got a lone closer all the way back here by himself. That's the 2 horse. He's going to be a little bit sad. I don't know that the pace sets up for him to actually find his way into the money. Charles, what do you say?
I do believe it sets it up for him. I think that little lone closer is going to be licking his chops at the end of this race. He's going to be picking up that big old fat check. This horse drops in class, second time with the blinkers. Hot jockey trainer combo again. Hernandez and McPeak. They're going to have a pretty good day. They got some live horses together. And my second choice in this race will be the 6. One of the pace horses, I think, is going to be sitting right there in the catbird seat. He won his only race. Solid works, well bet last time out. I think anybody should throw this one in for sure. This one is going to be scary. Mm-hmm. The 7 horse is my third choice. Drops in class. Trainer gets 13%, but 21% when he puts him in a claiming race. Hot jockey in the last 7 days also add to that. So that's a good combination. And then my final choice is the 3. One last time out, Morales. Again, another hot jockey stays on. And this horse definitely has that tactical speed that could do some damage and hang on.
Well, where you leave off, I begin. Charles with the 3 horse. She'll Never Know. Won her maiden in the 3rd try last time out with much, much better fractions. I like to see that. And then the trainer has him on a regular work schedule since. So this horse should remain sharp for this spot. Number 1, Cupid's Payday. It's coming off the maiden win in its debut, and another one that's been working in between races. So I like when horses come off the bench, win, put some extra work in, try to make it 2 in a row. Number 6, I agree with you, Charles. This one is scary to me, Condensation, because it can finish first or it can finish last. I'm not a real big fan of I love droppers, horses that are going from the tier 1 track to a tier 2 or lower. Not the biggest fan of track climbers, and that's what we win that debut by 8 1/4 lengths. What encourages me, though, is trainer William Collins does seem to know where to place his horses, because he wins at 30% shipping them around. So it seems to be able to identify the right spots for his horses when moving them away. Finally, number 5, It Takes Heart, did run the top last race speed figure in a $110,000 non-graded stakes race, which was at Perry Meadows. The Churchill works are okay, but to run the top last race speed figure at a much higher level means to me the horse has some class, but I would have liked to see some better workouts at Churchill Downs. Race 5, my internet, if it goes a little funky on me right now, it looks like the signal's on the low side. This one's a 1-mile race. It's a maiden claiming $15,000 for a purse of $37,000. Maiden claiming race. This is probably the lowest race in terms of class on the card today, Charles. At 1 mile, as we've talked about before, much like 6 furlongs, you want to come off the pace. It's been the leading way to win, and you want to probably be on the outside. Our pace worksheet for race number 5. Again, we catch maybe a potential lone speed horse in here with the 12. Everybody's looking for him. It also has the top late pace in there, but he doesn't actually have the most early speed. That belongs to the 5 or the 11. Again, you see these little designations off to the side, running at the same level, dropping in class. This one's dropping a little. This one's dropping. This one's moving up. The 2 horse gets the dreaded NC designation. It's never been close, but it's also dropping in class here, Charles. Still, you have most of the horses that either want to be 2 furlong, some that want to press, most that want to close. This race to me is wide open, really wide open. That's why I made it my long shot, Charles. Who do you got in this wide open affair?
And I almost came to make this one my long shot also, but to me, there was an easy 5 horses, maybe 6 horses that I thought could win this race. I ended up with the 8 winning this one. The horse ran 3rd the last 2 times out. Once again, you got that Hernandez-McPeak combo. They got some live ones, let me tell you. And then this horse drops. I think he'll be sitting in the right spot. I actually think the 5 horse is going to go to the lead, and this horse drops in class. Ran 3rd the last 2 times also, and he's definitely going to show some speed today with these horses. And I think he'll hang on for the piece of pie, or he could even try to win this race. The 1 horse is my 3rd choice. Another dropper, ran 3rd last time out. Looks like he should like this distance. And then my final pick, and I could pick another 3 at least, or 2 for sure.
And pretty soon in our pick 4, you'll pick a lot more than that.
I probably will, yes. This horse drops, the 9 horse drops. The jockey gets 19%, and this horse definitely has some tactical speed.
So I spent more time on this race, I think, than any other race, just trying to find something to pick any one of them. And you like that 5 horse. I was kind of surprised to see you have him in there, but good for you. Little Red Cloud. I'm going to take a flyer here of all the lightly raced horses, because the ones that have tried, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, you kind of know what they are. But this, of all the lightly raced horses, was the only one in the field that showed continued improvement from race to race to race. So if he continues up that ladder today, why not take a flyer here and see if he can improve for the 4th time in a row? Number 6, Lantern's Candy. This one has the best Churchill numbers by a long shot. And trainer Gennaro Garcia wins 24% of the time. 2nd race off the claim. So he probably targeted this spot for Lantern's Candy. Number 12, this horse you got to put in there whether you like what he looks like on paper or not, because he could be lone speed. So if he gets off to the lead, he also has the top late pace numbers. And I've said many, many times, you can't pass what you can't catch. And if he gets to the front, it could be really difficult to pass. And finally, number 1, Sweet Valeria, was a difficult call for me. Hard choice over your 8 horse, Bird Hunter. But this guy has the top early pace, late pace combination in the field and can improve in its 3rd start off the bench. And I alluded to, Charles, that you're probably going to pick a few more horses in your pick 4. I think you're going to start off with the hot dog pick 4, right? No, prime rib. We're starting off with the prime rib in the first few races. So race number 2, Charles is going to go 1, 2, 5, 6. And then you're going to pin all your hopes on that one horse in race number 3. It's not even a best bet. Why is that?
The third race, yeah, is my best bet.
Oh, it is your best bet?
Yeah, that's that maiden. That was my best bet.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go all in that last leg. So living up to that, I could have picked a lot more horses.
Yep.
I'm going to go 3 by 5 by 3 by 4. I'm hoping to come through in that. And some of those you could see in race. So you got the single in race 3. And I'm like, that's the leg that gets the most horses. Completely thinking oppositely there.
Yeah. Well, I really think that like I said, I always do not like to put a maiden as my best bet, but he does shine pretty much for me.
No, we'll find out when he shines, if he can take his game from the practice range to the golf course. Race 6 is 1 mile and 1/16. It's a claiming $10,000. The purse is 32 grand. And which surprises me, Charles, is that so far we've had essentially our sprints, 1-turn races where horses that come off the pace have done well. Now we go to a 2-turn racing, tactical speed wins. So it looks like the longer the race, the better for speed horses at Churchill Downs. Tactical speed wins post 4 through 7 have a slight edge in terms of their winning percentage. And for race number 6, it's a pretty balanced race. You can see you got horses all across the board. Your horses that look like they're going to be the ones that jump to the lead are your 5 horse and your 10 horse. The 10 horse gets a designation that I like. It is an early EP, so can pressure or can be on the lead. But what I like about it is that it's solo in that respect. A lot of times these horses in the PC column or the EP column, when they're there by themselves, they have a pretty good chance to win. The 9 horse does get the best combination of early pace and late pace. Really balanced race in here, Charles, for race number 6. How do you see this balance playing out when they hit the finish wire?
Yeah, you're right. I really do think it's a well-balanced race. I'm leaning towards the 1 is my first choice. This horse has that tactical speed. I think this horse could sit around 4th or so, and he has a good kick at the end. He was claimed last time out. Trainer gets 11%, but when he takes him to a route, he gets 19%. And this horse could be pretty close to the lead. He could be sitting 4th all the way up. He could have the lead, really. And John Court is riding this horse. And for a guy that's still riding in his later part of his age, he does really good with horses with little tactical speed. So if anybody, that's who I'd want on this horse.
All right.
And then the 3 horse is my second choice. Won last time out. Trainer gets 12%, but 35% when he repeats in the claimer. He has more of that closing tactical speed, so I think it's for him to go at the end. And then the 6 horse is my third choice, ran second last time out. This horse always gets the same rider. It's the rider and trainer combo that I guess they're father-son or something like that. This horse always tries hard. It always does good. And then my final pick, which I think is probably, if not the speed horse, he's going to be right there also, is the 8. He ran 3rd last time out. He's got that good tactical speed. Trainer gets 26% when he puts him in claiming.
I'm going to start off with the 6 horse, Hell or High Water. 3 consecutive races in a row. He upped his speed figure game, which culminated in the top last race speed figure last time. And if you just kind of look through the Churchill Downs history, has considerably better numbers than all of the rest in this field. So if he can just run to his ability at Churchill Downs, could be very difficult for the rest of them to beat him. Number 8, Barstow, is another that's continuing to step up the speed figure ladder. 3 in a row as well, and one that's done his best work at the distance. 3 times out with a win, and as you mentioned, a third, but 2/3. So in the money 100% of the time when going 1 mile and 1/16. Mentioned that 10 horse, Not Yet Charlie, getting a very prime position in the Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet, being a lone EP horse. If they go too fast, sit right off those leaders. If they go too slow, can take control. Has a lot of versatility. I think he'll take advantage of that today. Does have a plus early pace advantage at 4 furlongs and is moving down in class, a couple of classes. And what's interesting too is that early pace edge comes with a horse that improved in its late legs last time out too. So really can run a complete race here, I think. Finally, number 1, Ferry Boat. It's the first off the claim for trainer Jerome Miller. He's only won 1 of the 8 of those, but in those 8, he's collected a positive ROI of $3.45. And when he puts John Court on the horse, they've won 2 out of 3, and that ROI jumps up to a positive $6.57. So when this duo hits, it pays. So we'll see if it can pay for us today. Charles?
Yeah, talking about a nice guy, John Court is probably one of the nicest jockeys you ever talked to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up? How are things in Venezuela, Jose? Hopefully beautiful weather down there. Looks like in race number 1, he likes the 6 or the 10. Jose, I'm not 100% positive. Remember why you're here today, that the Breeders' Cup starts tomorrow and also runs on Saturday. Did a lot of work putting together our wagering guide over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Here's a preview of the Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile. There is a link to it in the description down below. Make sure you check that out. Now we're going to check out, I think, race number 7, Charles, if I remember correctly. Yes, indeed. That's where we are. Race number 7. Race 7 being another 6 furlong race. You're just out of your mind today. Best bets with the maidens. You're boxing up with the maidens. This is a maiden clip claiming $50,000 for a purse of $58,000. Looking at the profile of a winner at the distance and surface, as we've mentioned, 6 furlongs many times, outside bias, off the pace. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 7. We don't have one for race number 7 because there's a lot of first-time starters in here. So, Charles, you're really out of your mind trying to go with the box it up here because you have no idea what's going to happen with all these first-time starters. But tell us what you think is going to happen.
No, I know what's going to happen here. No, you're right. This is a really tight race with, just you're going off of bloodlines and works. So I'm going with the 7 here. It's the dam has 3 winners, 1 stakes winner out of those 3 out of 4 starts, and Steve Asmussen gets 18%, but he gets 21% when he puts them in maiden claiming. So this is where it kind of made me lean towards that horse much more than anything. Is he putting it in a claiming? So my second choice here is the 11. This horse drops. The trainer gets 28% when he goes from straight maiden to maiden claiming. And there's some solid works on this horse. So you should not overlook that one. And the 6th horse is a dropper also. This one has shown some tactical speed. Trainer gets 32% when the first time it puts him in a maiden claiming. This horse also adds the blinkers today. Mm-hmm. So we might see a little bit more out of this horse. And then the 3 is my final choice. This horse drops in class. To me, it's a jockey upgrade. And Cox gets 32% when he was maiden to a maiden claiming. And that's why I put this as my box, because there are going to be some decent prices. And if I hit these 4, the super and the try and all that is going to pay very well.
Yes, you're going to get paid indeed if you hit that box up. Again, $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta. Again, Charles and Terry are teaming up against Rich, 2 for 1 against me in a contest for the month. We're going to take a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box for our 4 picks for every race. Also going to include in our hot dog and prime rib pick 4s. And at the end of the month, we're going to tally up who's got the most money. And if you pick Team Charles and Rich, in order to do that, and Charles and Terry, I want to be on your team now. Just go ahead and put together down below. You see the scroll bar. Just go to our social sites, Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race Today, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Let us know. And Charles and Terry right now are ahead by about $800, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I didn't do the math yet. But get on a team, and at the end of the month, we're going to give away a free Horse Racing Today hoodie or T-shirt, your choice. And then, well, if you're on Team Charles, we'll pick your name out of Team Charles and Terry. And if you win that sweatshirt or T-shirt, we'll send it off to you.
Yeah, it's
For
not
race
too
number,
late to sign up. It's not too late to sign up for Team Charles and Terry.
Yes, we're going to let you sign up all the way through the 15th. So, but you want to do it now before you forget. Number 7 for me, double strike. I sometimes I wonder if I read too much into stuff, but Tyler Gaffalione gets off of the one horse, Sergeant Count Zier, to ride this first-time starter. And I just wonder if he's maybe trainer committed or he actually thinks the 7 horse is the better horse. Number 1 is, again, Sergeant Consigliere. This is the one that Tyler G got off of. And he gets off of a horse that was the 90-cent favorite in his last race in May. And really, if you look at those October 14th and 21 workouts, you got to say this horse has an opportunity to live up to that even money expectations. Number 5, Tom Spirit. So this one is a maiden special weight to maiden claiming dropper for William Cowens. It is a 42% angle for him, winner of 5 out of 12. But overall, Mr. Cowens is only a 20%. I mean, 20% trainer is a great trainer, but he's a 20% trainer. So what we're looking at here is an alpha angle. And then finally, number 6, Sacred Ground trainer Robertino Diodoro's taking this horse from maiden special weight to maiden claiming as well. It's a 38% winner for Mr. Diodoro, friend of the show. It's also a 32% winner first time claiming. That compares to Robertino winning at 20% overall. And I really like the workouts that Robertino has put into this horse since that last race. Race 8 is a 7 furlong race. Hold on one second, Rafael. November. Hello, I'm Rafael. Hi, Rafael. How you doing? 45 years old. And you're from Brazil, Sao Paulo. But you guys got a lot of controversy down there right now, huh? Over your presidential election. Are you in the streets too, or are you satisfied with the results? I mean, it's kind of interesting to me, the parallels between Brazil and kind of what happened in here in 2020. Race number 8 at Churchill Downs is a 7 furlong race claiming for $40,000. Much bigger purse. The purse is $68,000. It's the first time today that we're seeing that distance. So 7 furlongs. At the previous Churchill Downs meet, we found that early speed was the way to the winner's circle. The rail and 8 and out got a little bit penalized, but neither were deal killers. We go back to our pace worksheet for race number 8. We got a scratch here. One of the few scratches on the day. How's it down there today, Kentucky? Nice out.
Oh, beautiful. Just flat out beautiful. So
we should get a good day of racing. Again, another one where you see that the race is pretty balanced out. You got some speed horses. You got some co-pilots, a few that want to just kind of like be patient, some other closers and patient types. So pretty well-balanced race. Of the speed horses, to me, it looks like the 9 horse has the most giddy up and go. But this pressure horse, the 11, is probably going to give him a run for his money when the gates open. But these 2 co-pilots right here, they both have some of the best combination of late pace and early pace. I got a feeling you're going to hear from both of them when this race is finished. Who do you think we're going to hear from, Charles?
Okay, well, this is my long shot of the day, and I think he's going to go off right around 15 to 18, somewhere around there, to 1. This horse is the 10 horse, and I believe he's going to be sitting in the perfect spot for this race. He should be sitting right back there around 4th or 5th. He drops in class today. He broke out a little bit last time out when he broke out. This horse is bred for this type of distance. So, like I said, I think everything's just making it point towards that this is a race for him. The 5 horse is my second choice. This horse ran 3rd last time out. Trainer gets 16% when the horse has had a 46 plus days off. 21% second after a claim. So he's back at the claim level today, and this horse should run pretty good. Then I like the 9, which is, I believe, like he says, one of the speed horses. This horse drops in class, has speed, was claimed 2 back, and Hernandez stays on this horse today, which is a good sign. And then my final choice, which is another speed horse, the 3, Was claimed last time out, won last time out, and was well bet last time out. So
Mhm.
they saw a lot in that horse. So that horse is going to be a little dangerous, but I still say it sets up for my long shot of the day, the 10 horse.
So Barry asks, good morning, fellas. With the Breeders' Cup coming up tomorrow, I'm curious to know what's a good bankroll to have for the 2-day event. I budgeted $500 bankroll, but with all the wagers I want to make, it seems like I need to spend a percentage of my bankroll instead. Your thoughts? For me, what I like to do is I like to have a budget for both days. And honestly, I think Saturday you're probably going to get bigger money pools. So I'd probably lopside my 60-40, the money towards Friday for Saturday, from Friday to Saturday, simply because a lot of people work on Fridays, more people be involved on Saturday. There's more races. It's going to be a bigger day. So I would put more commit to Saturday. For me, what I always try to do, Charles, and I don't know what you try to do, but this is how I approach when I'm a day like that. There's big money pools. You can hit nice exactas. So in the beginning, what I like to do is I like to allocate money to like exactas or more wagers where you have a higher probability of winning. And then as I win, if I win, then as my money pool grows, then I start to expand to the higher payout, higher risk wagers where I'm playing with house money. So for example, let's say I have $300 in my account tomorrow and I hit a couple of nice exactas and trifectas and my pool grows to $600. I'm going to take my original money and I'm going to send a check home. So now I'm playing with house money for the rest of the weekend. And that's how I approach it. And then I continue to try to grow it. And as I grow it, if I start to grow it, I'm always sending checks home. That way I can't get to the position where I'm like, I'm not coming home with a profit. That's how I approach every time I bet. Charles, how about you?
I do pretty much the same. I do set up enough money for each day, the same amount pretty much. Like I said, I put a little bit more probably for Saturday, but not a lot. Um, and on Friday, which would be the first day, what I
Tomorrow.
try to do is I start off with a lot of win bets, and if I'm doing pretty well there, as it goes, like you said, when you start winning, then I go to exactas, and then if I hit a couple of those, then I go to trifectas, which is usually the last two, maybe three races. I will play a trifecta, and if I do well there, then I either a if it's my pool is doubled at least, then I will send some money home. If it's not doubled, I'll just add maybe another 100 or 200 to my Saturdays list and just do the same thing.
One other thing I do to help me budget too, Barry, is I'll go through the races and then I'll look through the races and figure out which kind of bets I like. And a lot of times I'll place them all before the day starts. So I'm not tempted to do something that I don't like. And then as I collect along the way, that then allows me to have money to bet on other things or to send money home. That way, when I budget it out, I'm not, because the worst thing you can do whenever you're betting and doing anything is chase. I've
Hmm.
seen so many people who are having a bad day. And instead of just saying, screw it, I'm having a bad day, walk away, they put more and more money in. And that's when you end up needing to get help. So, and if anybody needs help, please do seek it. This is for fun. This is for your disposable income only. All right, back to race number 8. For me, my first choice in race number 8 is the 3 horse, your last pick. So where you leave off, I pick up. She's cold as ice. That's perfectly describes a couple of my girlfriends when I was younger. Has some good form right now. Better early numbers in that last race. Do like to see that. This one does have the best combination of early, mid, and late pace in the field. And I think this one's going to get a very good trip. Number 9, Can't Be Touched. Charles drops back to the class where he was claimed, should be on the lead. And if you look through the past performances, if he takes that lead into the stretch, I think the last 3 or 4 times he was able to go 1-1-1-1 into the stretch, finished first as well. So pay attention to that. If he gets past, I think you can pretty much write him off. So if you think he can't hold that speed through, then you might want to just fade him. The 1 horse, Waters of Marome, claimed in moving up with multiple classes. Typically not my favorite thing either, but did run the top last race speed figure in the first race off of the bench, which is the first race since July. So he spent a little bit of time in the bar getting some R&R. The resume says the 3 times that the horse has made a second start off of a break, 2 of those times the horse moved forward. So 67% chance that Waters of Marome is better than that last start. And then finally, number 5, Loma Vista. This horse is super consistent coming in from California. But when I look at those training numbers on that Churchill Downs training track, they aren't so very good. And again, I think about Mike Smith. When we talked to Mike Smith a few years ago, before the Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith, before the Kentucky Derby, he had mentioned to us, pay really close attention to how horses train at Churchill Downs, because how they train is typically how they run, because he said it's a kind of odd surface, a little peanut buttery is the way he described it. Race number 9, and I don't know, Charles, if we're going to see it or not today, but it could be. They've put in that new grass track at Churchill Downs. This one's scheduled to be on the grass. Yesterday's got moved off the grass. There's a couple of scratches in this race, one of which was the main track only entrant. So with him coming out, I think there's a chance they might make that first run on the turf here today. We have no idea how this track is going to play whatsoever at all, Charles, because if they do run on grass, we've never seen it before, but we do know how horses have run in the past. Again, you do see that the 3 horse got knocked out. That 12 horse, which was that MTO, ain't in there either. Maybe a hint that they're going to run on grass. The 2 horse does have some early speed and might be lone speed today. Also can put it together with some late pace. One of the few left arrow horses of the day. This one is a true left arrow horse. The 6 horse, usually a closer, but enough early speed to probably put it right off the 2's tail, and also has a good combination of connecting the front to the back. Charles, this one is my box it up. But before we get to my box it up, fill us in on your thoughts for race 9.
Okay. Interesting race, like you said. I even prepared for it when it was going off the turf, because that's what I was thinking last night. It's going to go off. So throw away all those picks. But my first choice in this race is the 5. And I chose him because he's going to have that tactical speed that's going to be able to sit right there, as we call the catbird's seat. And he should be able to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. This is his second race back after a layoff, second time with Lasix. And Tyler stays on this horse, so that's another good sign. And then the 9 is my second choice here. The horse ran 3rd last time out. Johnny V stays on, and this horse should be definitely closing at the end of this race. So look for him at the end. And the 11 horse ran 3rd last 2 times. Second race after a layoff, and should also be closing at the end of this race. And then my final choice is the 1 horse. And I had a little bit tough time with this, my final pick here, but Sharp gets 17% with 90+ days off. Hot jockey in the last 7 days. The horse has got plenty of solid works, and he's another one that'll be closing. And why I had a hard time there is I thought maybe the speed, the 2 might hang on for that last spot, but I kept on running numbers, and I just leaned towards the 1 a little bit.
All right. Well, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. If you're following us on Facebook, thumbs up are greatly appreciated. Same as the on YouTube. So it helps us with the algorithm. So while you're on YouTube, a great way to support the show. Just kindly go ahead and press that thumbs up if you like what you see here. For me, in race number 9, this is my box it up, Charles, where we put 4 horses together in a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I like that 1 horse, Ellie of Ball. If they do run on the turf, won the lone Churchill Downs turf race, probably meaningless with the new course right now. But if you look at the past performances, this horse is usually closing very well with strong numbers on grass. Number 2, Fast as Flight, should not be too far off the pace. Had a lot more late pace in its last race, so connecting the beginning to the back. Looking for more in the classic 3rd start after a layoff. Number 6, Duplicitous. This is Charles denials that he's in my computer. But anyway, it might not look like it in the win, place, and show column in the PPs, but this left arrow horse runs his best races on the grass. Then finally, number 9, Fuente o Juana. Yeah, I don't know if I got that right. Maybe the folks from Venezuela can help me get my Spanish pronunciations down pat. but this horse is kind of who he is. This is a Dennis Green horsey. He is who he is. Sort of runs the same race over and over and over. Makes a lot of noise at the end of the race coming in, but just doesn't seem to close the deal. So I do think this one, really good chance to finish in the money. Maybe win, as Tom says, but yeah, maybe not. All right, the last race in the Churchill Downs card, and we'll go a little bit quicker because we're just a few minutes from the first race, Charles, so we can maybe get that in at the close of the show. Race 10 is a maiden, special weight, $120,000 at a mile, as we've talked about before. The one-turn sprint type races do favor outside horses, maybe tactical speed, horses that prefer to maybe come from off the pace. We do get a couple scratches here as well in our way to the winner's worksheet. The 3 horses out. The also eligible 13 is out. That opens the door for the 5 horse to be a one that's probably going to get away with a lead by itself, because the 3 was the other speed horse in here. The 6 horse should get an excellent trip as the lone pressure horse behind the maybe lone speed and a wall of closers behind it. So if he can keep pace with the speed horses and then just outrun the closers on the way home, should have a good shot to win. We got a pair of first-time starters in here with the 7 and the 12. How does the nightcap finish, Charles?
Well, this is a very interesting race because I don't trust none of the speed in this race to hang on at all. So I'm going to go with the 1, a true closer. Ran second last time. Bred to like this distance, and he has that speed, tactical speed to close very well. So maybe he'll sit a little closer than normal this time out because I don't trust the speed, like I said. And then I'm going to go with the first timer here. Maybe he might be the speed. Solid Works. Cox gets 18% with first timers.
Yeah, but if you look at Cox's number, he wins more than that. So I think anytime you see a great trainer where there's like a downgrade to his winning percentage, that's a good time to fade him because you know they're going to get money because of the name brand trainer.
Well, yeah, and this horse is also it's bred very well. I mean, this horse Dam has got 4 winners, and all 4 of them are stakes winners.
Yeah, I probably just put him in the winner's circle for sure. But
well, I mean, like I said, when I don't trust the speed in this race, maybe the 12 might be the speed. Of course, you don't know, it just works only. But the 8 horse is my next choice. Another closer. Well, they're all closers, really. Ran third last time out. Mott gets 19% when he runs a horse 90 plus days off, and should improve going longer. So I think this is what he was aiming for anyway with this horse. And the 4 horse, Todd gets 23%, 46 plus days off. Hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. This horse also adds the blinkers, so it makes it for a very interesting race. Like I said, with the speed, I don't trust as much. All these other horses have got a lot of interesting things going on with them.
I like the 1 horse here too, Charles. Ran much better fractions last time out. Finished second behind a horse. I forget its name off the top of my head, but I went back and looked at that horse. I got a funny feeling the horse that beat it, you're going to see that one in Stakes Company. So that could be a key race last time out. Number 8, we talked a little bit about that Mike Smith angle at Churchill Downs, where how they train is how they run. Typically, they do take their game from the range to the golf course. Well, this one's a Mike Smith angle for sure. Came in from Belmont, and man, has this horse been tearing up the Churchill Downs works. Number 6, Midnight Raid. I really think this horse is going to get the perfect trip as the lone P horse. It's going to sit right behind the speed, right in front of the closers, and just try to stay in front of the closers and run past the speed at the end. And finally, number 9, my final choice for the last race today at Churchill Downs. Bold Looker missed badly last time out as a beaten favorite, but trainer Brian Lynch does rebound next time around the course with Crush Chalk at 27% versus 20% overall, which is an alpha angle for the trainer. And again, one last time today, because it is the Breeders' Cup tomorrow. I can promise you, can't guarantee you that every pick is going to win, but I can promise you I did about as much homework per horse per race as you can do, There is a link to our wagering guide, a preview down in the description below here on YouTube, probably on Facebook as well. Make sure you click on that a little bit later on today if you want to play, test your luck at Remington Park. It is the free track today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet as well. Just click on that. You will see Ride Runner is our top choice. And if you're going to play a little bit of college football tonight, it looks like the under of the day for our picks with the professors, Appalachian State and Coastal Carolina in the first half, going under 31.5 points. Again, there's a link if you like to bet sports. The professor covers college football, Major League Baseball, college basketball. Sean, Jared, and I will cover the NFL tomorrow night like we always do. And all three of us are profitable on the NFL for the year, and they say that is the most difficult sport to be profitable in. You guys get a 50-run bet for Breeders' Cup weekend. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm going to, in terms of, because I really busted my butt. I haven't really had a chance to kind of digest what I was doing yet. We're going to have something on Saturday, Barry. So keep an eye. You're going to want to make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't for Breeders' Cup Saturday so that you're notified what we're going to do, or follow us on Horse Race the number 2 day on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, because again, that's where you're going to see everything that we do. But I promise you, we'll have some thoughts for Saturday, and you're probably
like I have a solid 4 or 5 horses that I believe in just win bets only.
All right. So real quickly, our full card bets, because they're about to kick off race number 1 at Churchill Downs, about 2 minutes. Charles' best bet, he's out of his mind today with the maidens. Race number 3, he likes the 1 horse. I like the 6 horse in race number 6. Charles' long shot in race number 8, that 10 horse, thinks it's going to go off probably around 20-1. My long shot is race number 5. Charles' box it up is in race number 7. My box it up is in race number 9. Again, $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta box. It's not too late to pick Team Charles and Terry. They have like a $700 lead on me going into Churchill Downs today. Hopefully I can close that gap. Just tell us whose team you want to be on our social sites down below. The end of the month, whichever teams won the most money, we'll pick a name from someone who picked Team Charles or someone who picked Rich, and we'll send you a hoodie for the horse racing today gear. And then finally, our prime rib pick fours for the last, our hot dog pick fours for the last 4 races. Charles and I both spending $18. Charles going 2 by 3 by 2 by 3. Me going 3 by 2 by 2 by 3. Let's see how that works out today. For the place is easy money in which race? The first race at Churchill Downs. We appreciate everybody commenting. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up on Facebook and as well on YouTube. All right, Charles, I think that wraps up everything. I don't think I missed anything today, Charles.
No, I don't think so. Just Breeders' Cup this weekend, and stay tuned. Like you said, hit the subscribe button and you'll find out what we're going to be doing, and hopefully you could join.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Absolutely, 1,000%. We would do something tomorrow too, but honestly, I just need a break. I need room to breathe after 30 hours of sitting at my desk, putting together the wagering guide. And honestly, I can feel the lack of circulation in my legs, Charles.
Well, I'll feel that tomorrow, because that's all I'm going to be doing is the Breeders' Cup races tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting day. I'm going to try to build up that bankroll. Like Barry says, I split up my bankroll for both days, but I'm going to try to build it up so Saturday I could have a little bit more money.
Yes, and we'll have a lot of thoughts on Saturday too. It's important that you follow us on our social sites. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you want to find out what we're doing. It'll be a great, great day, I'm sure. All right, that's it. Until we meet again, I know Terry and I will go back to the normal routine next Monday with Parks. You're going to want to make sure you tune in for that. Tomorrow, Thomas and I will be doing our Foreign Fridays at some track in Australia. We tend to do very good. I forget the name. I think it starts with a F, maybe Flemington down in Australia. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. You want to check into that. Again, we'll be doing something Saturday. Until then, folks, no matter what you're doing today at Churchill Downs, Friday and Saturday for sure at the Breeders' Cup, we hope that it ends up only in one place.
And that's the winner circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Breeders' Cup, folks. Looking forward to seeing you again real soon.